guys, it's Amaz here, and today I'm going to show you my top 10 list for the most powerful legendary creatures ever to exist in Hearthstone. So here we're not including any of the legendary spells, or the legendary weapons, or the legendary Death Knights, because Death Knights are stupid. We're going to be seeing the most powerful creatures that existed in their respective meta and in their most powerful form. So see if you can predict any of these. We're gonna go ahead and start with number 10. Number 10 is Empress Thoris from Blackrock Mountain. This card was so good that every class would effectively play this. Back then in the meta, we had Druid running Force of Nature and Savage Roar combo. It was like the old, super 1-2 14 damage combo, 1-2 punch. We also see it with Leroy and Power Overwhelming and the Faceless, and that's an insane combo. And then of course, the king of all combos, or queen of all combos I should say, Freeze Mage, where they would have an ice block up, they play Emperor, and then next turn you're pretty much dead, because they can just like kaboom you out of nowhere. Speaking of, Freeze Mage is kind of like that one class where everything just gets nerfed, right? Frost Nova, Blizzard, Code of Cold, nerf, Power Blast got nerfed. Ice Block is now in Wild. Oh, that's not enough. Let's nerf Ice Lance as well. Yeah, they definitely killed Freeze Mage. We get it, Blizzard. Emperor Thoris was one of those cards that had an immediate impact on the board. 6 mana 5/5, reduces your cards by 1 immediately after you end your turn. If your opponent doesn't deal with it, it just gets to go again. So it's a card that demands an answer, and one of the best legendaries in multiple metagames. Coming in at number 9 is Tankmaster Overspark from the Classic set. This card used to be a 2/2 with a targeted effect. The same target effect that we see now. Polymorphs one of the creatures into a 1/1 Squirrel or 5/5 Devil Sword. And back then, there weren't a lot of ways to deal with Death Rattle minions, especially Cairn and Sylvanas, right? And it was pretty much a 3 mana neutral polymorph. My fondest memory of Tankmaster is this clip from ESL where I'm playing against Reynad, and he got a little bit salty about the results.
Yeah, and it's not the strongest combo we've seen, but it's one of the most annoying. That's gonna be so powerful. He will be able to Tankmaster one of them, and he'll turn into a Devil Star, so not the best. Reynad, come back.
Oh goodness. So yep.
So then of course, people complained about Tankmaster, and Blizzard changed it to a 3/3 legendary creature that polymorphs a random minion instead, which is effectively also known as 1600 Dust. Next up, we have number 8. My favorite, my boy, Ragnaros the Firelord, also from the Classic set. Ragnaros was so awesome because he had great lore behind it. He was a prominent raid boss in WoW. He came back again in the Firelands. He was basically like a god among gods. And in Hearthstone, he's no different, right? You put an 8/8 on the field, it immediately has charge because it shoots a fireball. It doesn't even take any retaliation damage. Why I like Ragnaros so much is he probably helped me win about, somewhere around tens of 20s of thousands of dollars, maybe perhaps, in multiple tournaments.
He's going for it.
I think he's going for it. He says this is the move that could win the tournament if I am able to hit the Grommash.
If he hits the Grommash.
The moment of truth.
He has to heal himself first.
RDU knows what's coming.
50%.
What's it gonna be? Is RDU going to the finals?
Or
he's letting the rope go down. He didn't rub where Ragnaros is going.
He didn't rub the Ragnaros. Is it
What's it gonna be? Yeah!
Oh my god!
Of course it does! Of course RDU is crushed!
And of course, now it's in the Hall of Fame because Blizzard hates me. Next up, we have number 7, Sylvanas Windrunner from also the Classic set. One just does not talk about Ragnaros without talking about Sylvanas, because Sylvanas also got rotated to the Hall of Fame when Ragnaros come out. Mid-range and control decks would love this kind of effect, right? It's one of those 2-for-1s, or even 3-for-1s, when your Sylvanas can kill a creature and then steal a creature. So effectively kills 2 of your opponent's creatures and gets you 1 creature. It's like the cleanest 3-for-1s. Not to mention that, Death Rattles are so strong in the early set because there was no clean way to deal with it. Onwards to number 6. Viltheb, the Combo Killer. Back when Freeze Mage was very prominent and Miracle Rogue was very prominent. Lothar was just found everywhere to counter those decks. It became so good that even Miracle Rogue started playing this to win the mirror match. So that everybody just played Lothar, except for one person. And that one person was Hafu. She was the only person to use gold to buy the adventure mode back when you have to earn these cards in adventure. There was a bug, and when you bought the adventure mode with gold, you couldn't actually play the adventure mode. So Hafu couldn't actually get Lothar, and she ended up not qualifying because she played Miracle Rogue, and she couldn't put Lothar in the deck. So that was a little unfortunate. Blizzard didn't fix it for a month, but that was an interesting story about Lothar. Yeah, Lothar definitely dominated the meta every time because worst case situation is a 5-mana 5/5. Okay, you would still be very happy with that. Onwards to number 5. It's the cannon flying out of the deck. Boom! It is Patches the Pirate, also known as Ben Brode's favorite card. We know that because in one of the interviews, Ben Brode said that he wanted to put Patches the Pirate in the Grand Tournament, but then he thought it was a bit too strong in that, so then he pushed it to, Mean Streets of Gaisan, and then when it came out, it was still too strong because, I mean, come on! It's a freaking 0-mana 1/1 charge. That's even better than that because it draws you a card, right? You play a pirate, the Patches immediately shoots out, and it's a free 1-mana 1/1 charge. There were also pirate synergies with Bloodsail Cultist, and of course, it got nerfed to Oblivion. Honestly, I think it's still good, but now that it's in Wild, it's basically gone. Coming in at number 4, it's the best legendary in Goblins and Gnomes, and you guys know him. It's a neutral. It's the one that dominated the field. It's Dr. Boom. When Goblins and Gnomes were getting spoiled, Trogzor was also in the set as the other 7-mana legendary. And everybody was so hyped on the Trogzor train, they basically forgot Dr. Boom was even a thing. Why would you? Because Boombots are kind of weird, right? What do Boombots do anyways? Well, apparently, they just killed your opponent's creatures and went face. And even without the special effect, it was a 7-mana 9/9 worth of stats. Strife Girl is one of the first guys to realize the card's potential, and after that, when he was played in some decks that were just winning, everybody just kept on putting him in decks because, if you're aggro, you'll want this as a finisher because it's just over the top and Boombots can go face. Mid-range is great because he's a big threat, and then even Control would play because it's just a value play, right? It's kind of like a 3-for-1.
Is there another way out with this? No, there isn't. I need to roll 4 basically, so I need to hit first. And then I need to roll. Okay, well, always lucky, right?
Well played.
Always lucky. I should hit this, right? I should hit this. There's more targets that way. Wow!
The best thing you can do with Dr. Boom back then was that you can play against a Freeze Mage after they dropped a Doomsayer on the board. You play it, and then you get the 2 Boombots, and then on their turn, even with an Icebox Secret up, the Boombots will just hit their face and go off because secrets cannot trigger during your turn, right? So, man, that was a good interaction I miss a lot. And of course, the top 3 legendaries, starting with Leroy Jenkins as number 3. Think about it. What if I told you that Fireball for Mage was a neutral card? How many classes will actually play it? Well, turns out that every single class that can go aggro would want to play it. It ended up being nerfed to 5 mana, and then after the nerf, combo decks started playing it. We have Shadow Step on the Leroy. We have the obviously the most infamous Leroy power overwhelming faceless combo that the Hamlocks would play after Emperor Thoris. So to this day, Leroy would still be used in all of aggro decks, well, until Blizzard realizes that it might be too strong and maybe we'll push it to Hall of Fame, right? That's kind of like the fix to these things. Coming in number 2, we have Prince Kelseth from Knights of the Frozen Throne, the expansion where all the hero cards were spoiled and everybody was like, wow, these Death Knights are crazy. And then this is one of the main sleeper cards that everybody thought was bad. Like, just watch these streamers' reviews.
Prince Kelvaseth, 2 stars.
It's a very clunky card. It's overall pretty horrible, I think.
Oh, and it's a 2/2 too. Oh, what the? What? Like, if, oh.
Okay, I admit, maybe I misjudged the card a little bit, but in reality, when you are running this in a very low curve zoo-like deck, everything just gets so much bigger, right? You're playing 1-drops that are 2/3s, 3-drops become 4-drops, and 4-drops become 6-drops. It's kind of like if you draw this in your opening hand, the chances of you winning that game just skyrockets insanely high. Definitely not like every other insane legendary that was ever printed, that if you drew them, you win the game. Definitely not that. It's just one of those cards that it looks really weird on paper, but when you play it, it's absolutely bonkers. Before we reveal our #1 legendary creature of all time, here are some honorary mentions of some legendary cards that really spiced up Hearthstone's.
Who knows what secrets we'll uncover?
Golems are a girl's best friend.
And now, the one, the only, god of all Hearthstone cards, or shall I say, a mad god of all Hearthstone cards. Yup, you know it. It's Yogg-Saron. It is unnerfed form. 10 mana, 7/5, battlecry that casts a random spell from all of Hearthstone for each spell you've cast before in the game. Everybody thought this was the memeiest card ever when it was first revealed, along with Cthulhu and Yasharaj and, you know, the tentacle monster that summoned all your Death Rattle cards back that I forgot what the name is. You know, everybody thought this was the least playable out of all the old gods. And it turns out that, well, it was responsible for winning the most unwinnable games. It's one of those cards that if you're losing and your opponent has a big board, you just pray to RNGesus and hopefully Yogg-Saron kills the whole board, draws you a million cards, summons a bunch of, you know, tokens for you. When you play Yogg-Saron, none of the early game or the middle game or the late game, and none of those things matter at all. It's just, did you roll good on the Yogg-Saron spells? Did you get lucky? Did you pyroblast your opponent 3 times in the face? Well, if you did, then you won. And it actually single-handedly ruined tournaments, to the point where Blizzard had to come in and nerf the card to it only continues casting spells as long as he remains on the field. So for example, if you play Yogg-Saron and cast Twisting Nether, then he killed himself and he can't cast any more spells. And even with that nerf, people still keep on playing them. Is that one comeback mechanic that, hey, you don't even need to press if you're winning the game. You only need to play it when you are losing. Yogg-Saron is remembered to be one of the best and most spiciest cards that were so underrated, and it was so good when people played it, and now it is gone forever because, let's be honest, Wild is not a format. So what did you think about the list? What legendary cards do you miss about Hearthstone? And then finally, to wrap it up, thanks for watching the top 10 Hearthstone creature list. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what other top 10s you want me to make, and I hope you have a good day.